Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let me give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Dean from Healing Hands of Jesus Ministries. And typically, I'm up until about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I always like to talk about the Bible before I go to bed. I don't know what it is. But I had a few notes I wanted to pass along to you. You know, do you know how I started a ministry, a very successful ministry? I invited everybody that smoked and everybody who had a good appetite. And Pina and I would ask everybody to come over on Thursday nights, and we'd have a party. People would come and eat their hearts out and be filled with a full course meal, mind you. And some of them would say, well, I smoke. I don't want to, church people don't smoke. We didn't care. We didn't care if they had stinky feet. We just said, come and hear the gospel. We'll have a good time doing it. And we did. Made it a tremendous family night. In fact, we had so many people we had to leave the apartment that we were in at the time and go find a church, a small church. But the thing about the smokers is what I want to talk to you about. Many of you people who are smokers don't want to go to church because you feel guilty about smoking. That's the biggest bunch of balderdash that I have ever heard. You see, the people in the churches, and I'm talking to pastors and I'm talking to people who are going to church every week, you should not judge smokers. Smokers are not second-hand or second-rate Christians. They're people who are beautiful. Now, you know what happened is that most of the people who started off with our ministry as smokers, and I'm telling you, I've never smoked, but the Holy Spirit got me through this. I mean, you could cut the smoke in half with a razor blade. That's how thick it was in our living room when we first started preaching. Ended up years after that, they all gave up smoking. So the point that I'm trying to make is you take people in their present form, whether they're having problems with alcohol, whether they're having problems with smoking, whether they're having problems with drugs. Bring him in. Jesus wants you to come into the church the way you are. You don't have to be holier than thou. You don't have to be a hypocrite. Just come into the church. I know people on heroin, and they've gotten off of heroin only because they came to the church the way they were. And through the supernatural ability of Jesus Christ, they were able to leave the heroin. No, and I'm telling you people, whether you have Christians in your church that smoke, or whether you have Christians in your church that are in the middle of a heroin addiction, or marijuana. It says in Matthew chapter 7, 1 through 7, I'll just read a couple of verses. Jesus said, "Do not judge others, and you will not be judged. For you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged." So I'd watch myself if I were you. We've got people in the church who might not be smokers, and they might be teetotalers, but they eat like truck drivers, and they're fat. And the Bible does address gluttony. So don't judge others for their faults. The church is not for perfect people. The church of Jesus Christ is for imperfect people. People with problems that sometimes they can't handle, and they need the supernatural power of God to take it over. Being judgmental will prevent you from getting your healing. So if you have a heart disease, if you have cancer, if you have a disease where the doctor says, I can't help you, and you've come to God and said, listen, I need your help to squash this disease. You've got to come with a couple of conditions already taken care of. Number one is you've got to be a forgiving person. Number two is you cannot be judgmental. You'll never get your healing if you're a judgmental person. You'll never get your healing if you're an unforgiving person. I tell you, I had a fellow minister, I ordained him. His name was Pete. And one night at our ministry meetings, he attacked me viciously. I think Pete had a mental problem. But he attacked me for no apparent reason whatsoever and called me all kinds of names. It was rather embarrassing. So I kind of defused the situation and wouldn't speak to him after a while. He left, went home, and I figured out he won't have the guts to come back because he made a fool out of himself. And he did some nasty things to me, and I was the pastor of the church. By golly, he came back the next week. And I said to myself, I am going to have to find a way to forgive him for his insults and his embarrassment that he created last week. Why am I going to have to do that? Because I don't want the blessings of God to be turned off because of my unforgiveness. That's how important it is to be forgiving. The church is for sinners. The church is for people who are not perfect and who want to be like Christ. But sometimes we got to take it slow. Do not judge others. It says in Matthew chapter 7, 1 through 5. Do not judge others, and you will not be judged, for you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged. Hello, Anna. Hello, Matthew, Danny, Bruno, Rosalie, Xavier, Michael. Hello, Rachel. Hello, everybody. Now I got to say goodbye. This is Pastor Dean. I'm going to be here every day. I'm going to try to come every day and talk the gospel with you. That was Matthew 7, 1 through 5 that I talked about before. Come by for just 5 minutes a day. Well, we just did about 6-7 minutes. Get a little bit of the gospel every single day, and by the time I'm through talking, I believe that you will fall in love with Jesus. Write to me, dean.pepin@gmail.com. I love you. This is Pastor Dean. God bless you.